Hey everybody, welcome back to Trekyards. We have a new top 10 for you today, and this one's been a requested one, so we're actually eager to get this one out there in the world. So Samuel, what are we talking about today?
Probably a controversial one.
Those are the best ones after
Yeah.
all.
This is top 10 hero captains. This is the big 5/6. This could be interesting. Or very similar. We don't know. But so, Stuart, what is your number 5 hero captain?
That would have to be Janeway. Janeway is a no-nonsense, good captain. She's very motherly. She takes care of her crew, which is exactly what Voyager needed, being so far away from home. But she is
70,000
not.
light years to be precise.
Yeah, she's not a pushover. She doesn't take crap from anybody. So I absolutely love Janeway. My only problem with Janeway is her voice. She kind of sounds like a munchkin. But
yeah.
Other than that, she's much better than the woman that originally was cast as Janeway. Which, if you've seen that footage, you kind of cringe.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine the whole series with her.
She probably would have killed off or something just because of how bad it would have been.
Yeah, absolutely. So Janeway is my number 5.
I think it's worth pointing out they're all the heroes, the main heroes of the story for a reason. This is not a 5 is the worst. This is just our favourite or our how we rate them. It's not dissing any of them because that's not the point of this list. Just
I think as part of the honorable mentions, we should have a who we would like to serve under the most and why added in here. All right, so number 4 for me would be Picard. Picard is a Renaissance man. He's everybody's, not everybody's man. He's very refined. I think every man would want to be Picard in a way because, the ladies like Picard.
Every man wants to.
Well, except for the hair situation. we both have luscious heads of hair.
Hey, it's fine. He had hair in the academy and then didn't, so it's fine.
Yes. But no, he also no nonsense. But the fact that Riker kind of says, "Yeah, sit down, buddy. I'm going down to do all the action stuff," kind of bugs me. And I know that's not really Picard's, a fault of his. It's just the way protocol is in those days.
Okay.
And it's their dynamics. So
interesting.
Number 3 for me would be Archer, the first captain. I absolutely love Scott Bakula, basically from his Quantum Leap days,
which is a great show. Everyone should watch it.
Absolutely. And he, once again, no nonsense, out on the frontier, being a beat him up, knock him down, shoot it out kind of guy. But he's still diplomatic. I mean, he's the face of the Federation the first time we're out there. And he does try to...
It's not his fault his dog peed on... That's not his fault, really.
That tree, yeah. True. But he's trying to make a good impression for the humans, but he's also got that human mentality of... Don't mess with us or we're going to kick your ass. We don't take crap from people is basically what I'm saying.
I think out of this 5, he's the true first representative of the human race, and that's a hell of a responsibility. He probably would have been feeling that.
Yeah, absolutely. Which moves me on my number 2. And number 2 and number 1 are actually, they're close.
Is it depending on which day of the week it is, sort of thing?
Depends on what series I'm watching.
Okay.
Number 2 would be Cisco. Okay. Cisco is a badass. I love Cisco, and the fact that he intimidates Worf, I love that. He would intimidate me. I mean, you get on his bad side, that's one place you do not want to be.
Even just doing this, get out of my office. I mean, just okay, I'm going.
Yeah, if I got called into Cisco's office with him holding that baseball, I'd be afraid. I don't know. Cisco is a badass captain and a tactician. He's brilliant.
And he helped develop the Defiant, so obviously got some pretty decent engineering chops as well.
Exactly. So that's why he's my number 2. My number 1 is pretty obvious and self-explanatory. That would have to be Captain Kirk. The original Starfleet captain, as far as we all are concerned. He was the first one that we saw. And he is definitely a shoot-'em-up, knock-'em-down kind of guy.
He's a cowboy.
Yeah, exactly. We come in peace, shoot to kill kind of thing. And he's a ladies' man, which I absolutely love. I mean, I'd like to have that many ladies.
So do you come in peace, shoot to kill, want to go on a date?
Yes, pretty much. I got to teach you about love, even though you're a robot. That kind of thing. Teach you about the human emotions. Anyway, that's it for my list. And yeah,
Interesting.
That's yours. I think they're going to be pretty similar, our list, to be honest.
Okay. Well, my number 5 is Archer.
What?
He's an interesting captain for sure, and the first real explorer, and as such, he took a lot. He dealt a lot with the unknown and dealt with it very well. I thought a strong leader. We did get to see him being very human throughout the show, evolving from the rather plain, optimistic captain of Series 1 and Series 2 to the progressively darker captain of Series 3 to the wiser and really experienced captain of Series 4. You really felt that arc. It's just a pity that the first 2 seasons kind of let him down as a character, but they let every character down, so it wasn't really, if they'd started that strong at the start or given him those 7 seasons, I think the character could have really come to his own and really gone somewhere amazing. But that's why he's not higher on my list, unfortunately. My number 4 is Janeway, because she's a strong lead, like you said, who was pushed to the absolute edge and still got her crew home, and that is amazing. And they're all sane, mostly, and that's even more amazing. I think she had to deal with more than almost any captain in Starfleet history. I think that's fair to say. I mean,
she deserved her admiral promotion for sure.
Yeah, and she came out stronger. She took on the Borg Queen, aliens that could destroy the Borg, the fear enticing Kazon, and even fear itself. I mean, come on, that's amazing. But she wasn't given the development that she could have had or she deserved. But the whole serialized premise of the show didn't really allow for that as much as it could have, despite the show always being should have been an arc-based story. For better or for worse, though, she basically stayed exactly the same throughout the entire show, whereas Kirk changed from Series 1 to the movies, Picard and his run, Sisko changed, even Archer. So that's why she's my number 4. My number 3 is Sisko, because he is both the cool, calm, collected, and the angriest captain. He talks with a smoothness and yet yells with a passion. He's a great leader, and a reluctant one, actually. Not even made a captain until later on in DS9, which is pretty impressive. Which means he's never actually given solo command of a starship, although you probably class the Defiant as being his starship, which means he's a captain of a space station and a starship at the same time. Does that make sense?
Double duty badassery. That's
I don't know. But yeah, hell of a jump from commander. Hell of a jump from being a commander in a Reliant class at the Battle of Wall 359 to be, the commander of a starbase to a weird career path. But that does say a lot about his skill, and of course, his links to the mystical force of the wormhole. Okay, well, that's confusing, but he got some strong development, and he, definitely gets the results. So he's a great captain, but yeah, that's why he's my number 3. My number 2 is Kirk. He is a legend. He is the legend. He is the hero in outer space, protecting and exploring. He's strong, intelligent, charismatic, a bit more emotional in action rather than reasoned diplomacy. But he does have it all in one form or another. He, along with his crew, could work together to get out of almost any situation. A superb leader and a great human. But I'm sorry he can't take my number 1 slot, which only leaves us with Picard. And I'm surprised he's not higher on your list. Come on, he is the full range. He is a diplomat, an amazing diplomat. He is an action guy. He does do action. He's very intelligent. He's charismatic. He has charm. He's Patrick Stewart. He's an amazing actor. He brought so much depth to the character, and once he got into his stride after the first few seasons, he was amazing. And while it's always so close to choose between him and Kirk, I think Picard has got it all to be a more well-rounded man, and the better representative of the best qualities of the Federation, because that's what they should be out there doing. He's there to represent. And come on, he survived being assimilated by the Borg, a threat Kirk couldn't even imagine. Not sure how well he could do against them. What a man Picard is. So that's my list, and why.
Different era, different time. I'm more of a TNG on the frontier, or TOS on the frontier kind of guy. So that's why Kirk's more my guy. But yes, the diplomacy and the face of the Federation as far as diplomacy and
this is top 10 captains. I think he represents the best of all captains.
I kind of figured you would pick him. When I said number 4 for him, I just love the look on your face.
Our lists are radically different, and I like that.
Well, it's a honorable mention time.
Okay.
I originally had Spock, but I'm going to have to go with Sulu.
Okay.
Because we see more of Sulu. We actually see him do his thing more than we see Spock.
Okay.
So
See, my only
don't really
thing
have much else to say.
My thing is that we included him in the secondary captains. So my honourable mention is really the only other one we can pick, which is Pike from the JJ movies, because he was a hero captain in that film. Because he's actually pretty damn kick-ass in both movies, a great performance, and gives some real sense of experience, which you don't really get a sense of in those movies. And of fatherhood, I think, which is definitely a trait some captains have, and I think he pulls it off really well. I liked him a lot from what we saw. I think his portrayal of Pike is probably better than the original. But
we never got to see much of Jeffrey Hunter, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, and he was told to play it very plain and very somber, and I think the JJ Pike is probably a little better. Controversial, I know, but that's why he gets my honourable mention slot.
Yeah, I like him as well. Yeah. It's a good choice.
But yeah, so what do you think of the lists then, Stuart?
Not too surprising, actually.
Okay. I'm surprised by yours. I
thought Archer would be higher on your list, but you're more of course you picked the Brit because you're charming and witty and come on, you're just talking about yourself now. Seriously.
I think he's probably the best actor out of those five as well, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. The thing I was going to say though, one of the reasons Archer is one of in my top three at least is because, like I said, I knew him from Quantum Leap. I had seen him in something else, so I knew he was a great actor.
Well, yeah, so had I, though. I mean, I've seen all Quantum Leap as well.
I know, but all the other actors in this, you only know them for their main captain's roles, basically. Unless you're
Patrick Stewart is obviously X-Men.
After TNG.
Which is when I was born, so I saw him as...
I know, I didn't. So I saw him as Picard first, and that's the role that I see him in all the time. Same with Janeway and Cisco and Kirk. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting look into our.
Yeah. But I mean, I've always got a soft spot for Voyager. I would like to put Janeway higher up on my list, but it's just the lack of development. Because I mean, come on, she does take on more than any of them. I mean, I know obviously they up the ante for every series, but Picard gets submitted by the Borg. So does Janeway. Survives it with no ill repercussions and destroys the Borg pretty much. I mean, there's things that she does that you get Cisco versus Borg with that little Defiant. Yeah, you're not gonna. Well, they were shown in this show that Defiant, obviously Worf's not the same as Cisco, but Cisco versus Borg, nope, not gonna win. Kirk versus Borg, different era, I know, not gonna win. Archer versus Borg didn't win, sort of. That was a weird one. And Picard versus Borg did win twice, just about.
Yeah.
Janeway versus Borg, yep, no problem. Well, sort of. I don't know. Not that obviously she was only 4 on my list, but I think, yeah.
This one is going to cause some interesting comments and squabbles down in the comments, and I apologize ahead of time, guys.
But no, seriously, let us know who you think your top 5 captains are, who you side with, who you don't side with. Maybe there's only one captain for you, because sometimes you only relate to one captain. Let us know what you think, and don't tell us if we're wrong, but tell us what you think.
Because, yeah, be nice.
Because this is the question that there are no right answers, but you've always got the wrong answer to somebody. So just let us know what you think. And this battle, I think, will continue to rage on. Kirk versus Picard, even though it wasn't apparently that battle for you. It was Kirk versus Cisco. So, interesting. But that is it for another top 10, guys. Tune in next week, as always, for another top 10. We'll see what we do, and that'll be another great thing. Probably less controversial, maybe more controversial. You have to wait and find out. So until next time, guys, it's the Commander Cockings.
And Captain Foley.
See you next time, guys.
Bye, everybody.